Hello, and thank you to everyone who is joining us online as well as in person. We are very excited to be able to dedicate our West African Masquerade case, which is made possible by the Richard Meyer's collection as well as our generous Visionary Society members. I would like to begin this dedication by introducing our President and CEO, John Morris.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you all tuning in live online, and thanks to our whole team who is here from our education team, Barb Dawson, our head of our E-team, and Pierre Paul, and let's see, we've got Everly Davis and Angela Drock here. So we also have our lead curator, Bill Conger, and Carolina Huser on the video recording device. And we have very special guests, but I'm going to let Ben introduce them. Will you introduce them in a minute? They're Ben's parents. So we're going to hear from an intern here momentarily, but what I want to say just briefly to all of you is the Peoria Riverfront Museum, the only museum of art, science, history, and achievement in the nation, is so proud to bring our permanent collection out as much as we possibly can. And among those objects in our permanent collection is one of the most important West African art collections in the Midwest. A man named Richard K. Meyer, who donated to our institution as well as others, gave these objects to us, and they're 3 stars on display here. But Richard K. Meyer is an example of among many people who have donated museum quality objects to help us tell stories that inspire people, which is our job. So when I first started my career right out of grad school, I worked for Lakeview Museum of Arts and Sciences for almost 5 years, way back in the early 1990s. And at that time, we had done a full assessment on the Richard K. Meyer collection, which has been with this museum since that time, more than 30 years ago, and came into our collection. Bill, when did it come into our collection?
1974.
1974. So this has been with this museum for a long time, and so powerful, so inspiring, and so uplifting are these great works of art from Yoruba and Akan cultures and West Africa, and the history that represents and the connection to our own sense of place here is really important. And I'm so proud, and I think the late Richard K. Meyer would be, that we've got, once again, objects on display. So here to tell us about those objects is the intern who helped put them all together and put in this display. And I want first him to tell you a little bit about himself and the work that he did with us over the summer. Let's give it up for our intern, Ben. Come on in, Ben.
Thanks very much, John. Excuse me. Thanks, everyone, for having me back. I'm Ben Hosto. I was an intern at the Peoria Riverfront Museum over the summer, which is when I was working on this case. But currently, I'm a master's student in the history program at Illinois State University, and this internship was kind of what I did between semesters. So it really gave me some grounding, like practical, hands-on grounding in the field of history. Yeah, and I guess should we get to the cases, to the mass? So this whole case basically is just on display are West African masks, and specifically in the West African region, they are used in masquerade ceremonies, which have been around for centuries, still ongoing, and for a long time, these ceremonies and these masks specifically. Well, the masks specifically were kind of just viewed as like divorced from the masquerades. They kind of just viewed as curios just by Western collectors. And I think in previous in other museum exhibitions in years past, they've just had like the masks just sitting just like standing by itself, like as an art object with no like descriptor or anything of that sort. But recently, like since the 90s, historians and other scholars have realized or have come to see these masks as importantly part of the masquerade ceremonies which they're a part of. And so specifically, these masks over here, the small one is a helmet mask, and this one I think is a helmet mask as well. But and during masquerades, performers would don these masks either like on their helmets, on top of their like headgear, or just on their faces directly, and they would embody a character of the masquerade. So like they themselves as a individual have become like the masquerade character in line with the mask. And most of these masks are, we don't like specifically know where exactly they're from or what they're used for, but this one in the middle was most likely used for initiation ceremony. And I should also explain too, like these masquerade ceremonies are used in like coming of age ceremonies, like funerals, like community celebrations, any kind of community event, basically. And the making of the mask is usually it depends on community to community, but it's a very sacred process in some cases. The blacksmiths and like mask makers don't like reveal directly, even to like the person who like is donning the mask, on like how they like what their process is. It kind of just lends to the kind of to like the sacredness of the masquerades, even if, like for whatever purpose they are. But and just recently, or just in the past 20 years or so, it's just been very vital to see these masks as not just separate things, but as a part of people using them for like a ceremony, like masquerade ceremonies, ceremonial purposes. And that's
Very nice.
pretty much
Very
it.
nice.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ben, and thanks to all of our team here for the work you do. As you may know, we have 9 of these focused hallway cases. This is the latest to be dedicated, Masquerades. Bill Conger, our lead curator, any final words to add as we dedicate this Masquerades?
I would mention that Ben is one of a number of interns that we host and bring into the museum to help us facilitate exhibitions like this. Ben came in over the summer from Illinois State, spent an entire summer researching and assembling this case, and we're just very proud of the exhibition. So Ben, thank you.
Well, and one final introduction, Carolina, turn the camera. This is Ben's mom and dad. And so let's hear it for Ben's mom and dad. Thank you all for tuning in to the Peoria Riverfront Museum. This has been a dedication for our new Masquerades case of West African art. We'll see you at the museum. T-Rex is up through January 16th. We've extended it, and we've just opened Railroaders, Jack Delano's Homefront Photography, and a new Treasures exhibition from our permanent collection, Design and Duplication. Please come visit us for those and more, and to see Masquerades. Congratulations, Ben. Thank you, Elizabeth Day, and everybody else.